I'm surprised that anyone's still listening, to be honest.
Well, Randy.
I mean, I barely listen, you know.
Randy, Jared, Dave.
Maybe. I thought I always thought those were people that you just made up.
Oh, Randy might sound made up, but he is actually real. It's quite shocking.
He sounds ridiculous enough to be made up.
Poor guy.
We'll just get a complete burn on Randy before we even start.
He probably listens to this as some sort of pick-me-up.
This is the other thing. Oh, Dad, listen to this podcast. Sometimes they talk about me. It's really good.
Oh, go on then, son, play it.
Play it, but this better be good or else you're out. This is your last chance. Otherwise, you're going. You're going home.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, we should actually get going. Okay.
Interesting things said by uninteresting people. You're hosted by Ben and Tom. Interesting things said by uninteresting people.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Things Said by Uninteresting People, where we talk about interesting things so that you don't have to. My name's Ben, and as always, I'm joined by the Golden Jubilee edition of the podcast. Tom, how are you?
Yeah, good. On this 50th episode special, Ben will be counting to 50, and that'll be the end of it. End of the show.
Man, come on. No, there must be something better than that. There must be. I was going to bring some, like, party poppers, or I was going to bring something, and I just
couldn't be bothered.
And I just haven't. Yeah, no, that's how it's gone.
In fairness, I forgot until I got here, and you did say.
Literally 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the 50th episode today. We're off to a strong start already, mate. That's what I like to see.
Well, if you've listened to all 50, leave a review that says 50 Club.
That's actually a decent idea.
Give it the 50 Club review.
No, nothing else. Nothing else at all in the review. Just 5 stars, yeah. 50 Club. Right, I'll be looking out for those. I'll check the podcast app and
That'd be good.
See what we haven't got any yet, but I guess you haven't heard it yet. So.
Or 0 comments.
Man, how do you feel the last 50 episodes have gone?
I can't believe it's 50, because considering how many years we started ago, you'd think it's the slowest podcast on earth. What year did we start it?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it, mate. What were we doing this for?
2016? Because we talked about Trump being inaugurated.
Yeah, must have been. That's
terrifying.
That is crazy. Again, you know, it's
4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
6.
So that's not far off once a month.
Yeah, no, it's not. You're right.
It's not far off.
It's 10 episodes a year.
I'm being very generous. It's kind of, yeah.
So it's probably about 20 hours a year
we
dedicate to it. It's not a lot. That's nearly one day out of the 365.
Oof. Man.
And I think it's too much.
Yeah,
from now
personally.
On, he's going to be cut in length.
And hopefully not in quality, but probably. Oh man, I can feel this is going to be a loosey-goosey episode anyway. How are you though, dude? What have you been up to? What's new?
I'm good, thank you. What have I been up to? I say not a lot. Just been staying really busy with channel and with freelance work recently. I've had a few freelance jobs come in, so got one tomorrow, of all things, which is in Exeter, which is cool. And yeah, things have changed a lot because where I do 2 days a week, my main co-worker Rachel is now off on maternity leave.
Fantastic.
So I'm truly working alone. Because we used to work together, but now all by myself.
Fantastic.
But yeah, good otherwise. What about you?
You always strike me as a bit of a lone wolf, you know.
Yeah.
Got that demeanour.
It's the hair.
It's the hair.
It's the amount of hair on my head. A wolfen look.
I'm built for speed, yeah.
What about you?
Mate, I've been really good actually. We've been on holiday for a couple of weeks, but it's been scattered around the UK actually. Because we're not going to any foreign countries at the minute.
Sure.
So yeah, I took Claire up to the Midlands where I was born.
Yeah.
To show her, we went to the park where I learned to ride a bike.
Did you?
Yeah. We went around.
Careful with the needles.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, don't, man. Yeah. We went around an art gallery, which is kind of cool. Saw some of the sights, a road I used to walk up and down, a pharmacy we used to go in. Man, it was good. But then funny enough, we had to go to London for a wedding, which was one day, which was very nice. My stepsister's wedding, which was fantastic, but it meant driving about 240 miles one way and then have a day for the wedding, and then driving almost back in exactly the same direction. And we went to Ludlow, it's up near the Welsh border.
Right.
It was lovely.
Was that all in one day?
No, it was spread out over. Yeah, it was over one day for the wedding and then back again. So it wasn't too bad, honestly. It was fine. It took us 6 hours to get home from Ludlow when it should have taken 3. But
why is that?
Traffic? M5, middle of a pandemic, everyone's staying in the UK and going to the southwest on holiday.
That'll do it, won't it?
Bastards. I was expecting to see roadworks, but no, it's just everyone driving really, really slowly.
Yeah, twats, man.
But it was good.
Time for that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mixed bag. Ludlow's really nice. There's a Norman castle there, like the ruins of a castle you can go to. Get up high on some towers if that's towers and shit. If that's your bag. Lovely. Shropshire's really beautiful anyway. And we got to see some museums. Well, basically, we decided that we were basically doing a family holiday just with the two of us.
Sure.
So it was really nice. But Ludlow's supposed to be a gourmet foodie town, right? So we thought, brilliant. We're in for a treat here. We're gonna have a nice time.
Yeah.
It actually happened to be our anniversary while we were away as well.
Right. Even more excuse to go out for a meal.
Exactly right. Yeah. Right. Claire booked a restaurant, and I don't start it like that. She is in no way at fault for what happened next. I want to get that on the record because the restaurant looked right up our street. It's a nice little tapas bar.
Sounds great.
We're into that, and all the reviews say, the chef went to Spain to train. He was great. Knows his stuff. He imports ingredients from Spain, like cheeses and meats and things. I was like, amazing. Great! This sounds really, really great.
Sign me up.
They say they have live music in there sometimes. Brilliant, great,
sure,
perfect spot for a bit of anniversary mealing. Dude, it was the most fucking awful experience that we have ever had, and it got to the point where it was like being on safari.
Right.
So we just kind of had to sit back and be like, oh my God, this is how this is going down. I'm gonna try.
So did stuff happen to you specifically, or was it happening around you?
All of it. All of it. It was us, and it was the surrounding tables as well.
Let's go.
So, I'm gonna try and keep this podcast interesting enough for this.
Sure. Everyone wants to hear about bad experiences.
Well, we walked in. We'll do the whistle stop tour. Walked in, young lad behind the bar. Sure. Seemed like a nice guy. Was going, we were booked in for 7:30. He went, and I actually said to him, I started to sound like my dad. I actually said to him, that's a lot of ums. Like, where do you want us to sit? And he's like, I don't know. We've had a really bad day. I'm like, okay, cool. Where do you want us to sit? And literally, I'm going to show you. He could have touched the table that they had free for us just by reaching over the bar like that. Right?
So
it was there. It was right fucking there. Took the waitress coming over and going, oh yeah, don't worry, here you go. Yep, table of 2, there's the name. Yep, here you go, get on there.
Sure.
Bear in mind for the rest of this story that guy did not move from behind the bar throughout the rest of the evening. He just stood there kind of staring into space. Don't think I even saw him make a drink.
Sure.
So that's where he is. 20 minutes later, we get brought about 15 minutes later, we get brought some menus.
Well, it's already a long wait.
That's pretty. I mean, dropping menus off is the easiest thing in the world, right?
Well, a lot of places have the menus on the table.
You would think, man, wouldn't you? That'd be handy, wouldn't it? You could save yourself a job.
Yeah.
I should say this was a small place. There was already in there was another table of 2, table of 3, table of 4, and us. That's it. That's all the people that were in the restaurant.
And that's full.
That's pretty full. It's a small place. There's an upstairs, but this was a pretty full place. And so, after another 5 minutes, Claire and I have looked at the menus. We've gone, we know what's up. We know what we want. We're going to have this much
20
food.
minutes in?
So 20 minutes in, the waitress comes over and says, and takes the food order.
Sure.
And I speak a fair bit of Spanish, I would say pretty fluent, And I already have a bit of a problem with not making myself sound ridiculous to English people by pronouncing things in a Spanish way, because you get so used to learning Spanish pronunciation that you have to make a real conscious effort not to just look like a dickhead when I'm looking at like patatas bravas, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But so I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I am saying to her, I'd like, for example, patatas bravas, please.
Yeah.
She goes, and so I'm then pointing at the menu like someone who doesn't want to say it out loud in like a foreign restaurant, or, going, this one, the spicy potatoes, yeah, cool. It's like, yeah. That's right.
Fine.
Yeah.
All forgivable in a way if you don't know. I mean, you should know.
I mean, you know your menu though, right? That's what my main beef was with this. Is that, she seems to have been there a while and now. So anyway, I can't get bogged down in any one of these details because they're all baffling.
Yeah.
Then she said, "Oh, do you want some drinks?" I said, "Oh yeah, what non-alcoholic stuff have you got?" She went, maybe some non-alcoholic spirits. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool.
Oh.
But then she goes, "What did you have in mind?" I'm like, well, it doesn't really fucking matter. Sorry, there's a lot of, I can feel a lot of swearing coming in this podcast.
The rage is coming back.
It doesn't really matter what I had in mind. In the nicest possible way. It's what you've got, not what I want.
Should you be like, oh, we've got this non-alcoholic beer and these mocktails and Sprite, Fanta, Coke, whatever. So
I'm like, Coke's fine. Honestly, I'm already like, this is going to take too much time. And Coke is honestly fine. So the Coke and a lime and soda come out, and it's grubby. I'm not enough that we send it back, but when glasses just aren't like,
they haven't quite been cleaned. I was worried you were going to say they brought out the 2-litre bottle of Coke from behind the thing and just poured it in. The multi-pack,
I would not have been surprised.
Multi-pack not to be resold.
Dude, don't. I should tell you as well that this took a long time for those drinks to get here.
Sure.
For the fact that it's just 2 soft drinks. The table next to us, meanwhile, the table of 4, are saying to the third member of our crew, this old, fairly portly, very seemingly dazed and kind of confused old fella who's wandering around the restaurant wearing a coral pink polo neck versus the black shirt and whatever. So we're thinking, maybe he's like the chef's husband. I think in hindsight that's what it was.
Right.
But he's now on his 5th attempt to bring the table of 4 another bottle of the Rioja that they'd already had. So it wasn't a different wine. They're like, we just want another bottle of this Rioja, please. And they're like, no, that's a white. We'd like the red. Another white comes to say, it's like, no, we want the red, the same Rioja. We want
it's sounds red. Like they've all on drugs or something before you got there.
Dude, it was insane. So then we wait, then we settle in, and I said to the waitress, we would get some bread as well, for the table, just to keep us going. She's like, normally people have this bread in it to tide them over. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Fine, whatever.
Let's do that.
Give me some fucking food.
Yeah, please bring us something. So then we sit and wait, and then we start hearing, we start clocking there's another table of 2 similar to us, but they're like us 10 minutes ago, and they still haven't got any drinks, and they still haven't got any food, I'm like, oh man. And this is when we start looking at each other like, this is going to be one of those nights where, nothing is going to go right tonight. This is going to be one of those nights,
sure.
So a bit more time goes, we have some more drinks, and then, I don't know, maybe this is just me, then the waitress says, she's very friendly, she's making jokes with the other table, and she's telling them how they can't keep any staff and how she wouldn't want to work here, It's like, she wouldn't want to work here. She works there, she doesn't want to work there. So then she says to us, she goes, sorry about the delay, I'm so sorry about the delay. You've picked the wrong time to come in. Like,
what, dinner time?
Dinner time, yeah, exactly. Well, we kind of we've booked this for at least a couple of weeks. I think Claire booked it maybe 4 weeks because we knew we were coming. We're like, we want to go somewhere, on our anniversary, we'll book in a table.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry that we've arrived with a booking and you've known we were coming.
Wow.
But I don't know why that got my goat quite so much.
Did you ask her why you say that?
Dude, no. No, we just kind of went, ha, mate, this all ends with very little confrontation and just a kind of, oh my god, it's like you ever see Father Ted, the episode where he kicks Bishop Brennan up the arse, and the bishop's so surprised that he doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe it. It's like we got slapped in the face with a wet fish. Like, I can't really process what's happening around us. So anyway, we wait for some more food. Another table behind us is starting to loudly complain, like, "Oh, this is a bit shit, isn't it?" The other table of 2 are like, "Excuse me, how long is it going to be for our food? Because we have got to go. Like, we've got plans, kind of thing." "Oh, well, your food's ready to be plated up. If you leave now, you can leave now if you want, but it's just going to sit up there, almost like a kind of, well, take it or leave it, you fucking idiot. Do you want it or not, kind of thing."
Sure.
So, still no bread. Still no bread
at this point.
About 20 minutes later, so about 40 minutes after we arrived, 20 minutes after taking the order, maybe a bit longer, the waitress brings out a couple of little plates and goes, "I'll put these here because your food is going in the oven now.
Right.
It's ready to go." Meanwhile, the fucking table next to us, table 4, have finished their meal, and I've asked for seconds. I've asked for can we now get some more food? And their fucking food has shown up. and baskets of bread coming out to them. I almost was like, I would have been making jokes to the staff if they ever fucking walked past our table at anything less than Mach 3. Yeah. You know, like zoom off you. And you brought them their bread. Where's our fucking bread? So. Eventually, I'm sorry, man. I want to apologise to any listeners who. This is like how we celebrate 50 episodes of this podcast. He's getting fucking angry at a restaurant. So then, eventually, the food arrives, and the greasy old guy brings it, and I'm like, and I said to him, we're expecting some bread.
Yeah. Where is it?
Where? Yeah. That's crazy. I'm like, where's it? And he goes, oh yeah. The bread's coming as well. I'm like, no, I was expecting some bread to before this point where you bring the food out. Come on, Ben. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. This dude had the longest thumbnails I've ever seen, and they were coal miner black. Like, we looked at some TripAdvisor reviews afterwards.
Yeah.
With a fresh eye on them, digging out the bad ones. And they're clearly describing the same people. And one of them, on one night, described him as having defecated himself. I was like, you know what? That's probably not far from the truth. Just bless, this dude was not in a good way. There was no other reason he was working there than that he was married to one of the staff. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of this.
Yeah.
So anyway, they bring the food out. And it is painfully average. Like, to coin a phrase, it's very mediocre. It's fine and it's safe.
Taco Lounge.
No, Taco Lounge is better. It's better. 100%. No, this is like someone has gone, oh, tapas. Yeah, how hard can it be? Chorizo chopped up and fried. Yeah, fine, that can be one of them. And as it turned out,
I meant the Taco Lounge tapas. I mean, as a whole, I like Taco Lounge.
Even you haven't got to defend the Taco Lounge, but even
they might be listening.
But even the tapas, man, this was like something that someone who's never made tapas before would make at home for like a fun night. You know,
Hello Fresh tapas.
Version. Yeah, maybe. Sure. Yeah, like a delivery of tapas ingredients. Yeah. And so it was fine. And me and Claire, our bar for enjoyment is very low because I think
that's too much to impress us. Yeah,
because generally we can laugh at things.
And mate, I'm the same.
Right.
You laugh it off. We'll pay. We'll never come back. Fine.
Exactly. Sure. It was like being on safari. It really was.
Yeah.
So we're we're doing this, and I'm doing this with my hands. I don't know why. We're eating the food. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
And of course the bread comes out with it. But the chef, man, I forgot this amazing bit. The chef, a woman comes down, hands her. She's got long, very decorated fingernails. I'm like, ugh. In a kitchen, I'm not sure that's what I want to. Yeah. Maybe it's perfectly fine. It might be, but they were thick like acrylic nails. I'm like, I don't want to see that on the show. I don't know. For some reason, it rings alarm bells to me.
Yeah. Especially food.
She goes, I'm sorry about the bread. We gave it to the young lad, and he was supposed to bring it down. Now, I have a personal bugbear with anyone in like a business throwing someone else under the bus.
Sure, yeah.
Because just to customers, man, it's not a good look.
Yeah, just like, sorry about that.
It's like,
we should have done it better.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Second thought about this is, where the fuck did you think that bread had gone? Do you think he'd shoved it up his arse? Like, who got that bread? Where you
the bread doesn't exist at this point.
Yeah. It's like, did you notice it was still upstairs? Or did you think it should have been downstairs when, Anyway. So we eat this food. And then we're like, do you want any desserts? No, thank you. Just the bill, please. The bill. I should mention that every interaction here is taking like a good 5 minutes in between because they just don't. When people make themselves available to be stopped?
Yeah, they kind of
they kind of saunter. Yeah. These are like the people who don't want to be. They're like zoom straight past.
Sure.
Eventually, we go, can we get the bill? Can we go? And I went to the loo. The loo's fine. Well, no, the loo wasn't fine, but this isn't where the story goes.
We're not
talking about the loo today. The loo was fine. It was like a home loo that hadn't been cleaned in weeks. It was dusty, it was grimy. It wasn't very... Anyway, that's not the fun. I got back, and afterwards Claire told me what had happened while I went to the loo. She goes, the old fella had sidled up to her, like, not up to her desk, like not in her personal space, because the table would have prevented the personal space, thing. But kind of came over and went, oh, try and still have a good night. Try not to let it ruin your night. How's the food? And Claire was like, well, yeah, honestly, the food was fine. It was okay. You're not going to leave a complaint like table 2, are you?
Fucking hell.
And I'm like, And Claire told me this afterwards. Yeah, dude. Claire said this afterwards. I'm like, I don't know what's worse. The kind of almost like not a threat, but like a coercion of like, hey, you better not kind of thing. This guy was in no way a threat. I shouldn't paint it like that.
Yeah.
But it was like that. It was like that kind of snidey sort of, you're not going to do what those idiots did.
You're not as stupid as
But what got me was that he waited until I fucked off. That's what pissed me off.
Weird.
Because, I hadn't been angry at him, but I'd been firm. Like when he said about the bread, he was like, bread and olives, yeah? And I went, no, come back, no olives.
Yeah.
So I've already had a bit of a firm word. So, and the bastards waited until like the big scary man has left, and I'll just sidle up to the weak woman, and I'll have a word and make sure that this go. So afterwards we're like, all right, start licking that pencil nib for the fucking TripAdvisor. Dude, it was like being on safari, and like I say, me and Claire, we laughed stuff off. And that's, we kind of let it slide.
Sure.
We're very thick-skinned at stuff like this. It's like, this is dog shit. But
at least
whatever,
man.
Fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least we can laugh about it. No harm, no foul. Though, I really try and be objective about this. Obviously, there's no tip going on.
Oh,
but
God, no.
But the food, I'm like, you've charged the food, fine. The food was fine. We'll pay for the food. Because I'm not that guy. Maybe I should be. I'm not that guy who goes, well, the service was shit, so I want to pay half price for these.
You don't need to say anything, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, fine.
The same,
We've had the food. We'll pay you for the food. It's fine. But, oh, man, I'm not going to name them on the podcast but if you look up tapas restaurants in Ludlow, you probably, I think you probably can't go too far wrong. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't even know how long of a fucking story that's been, to be honest. And I apologise for ranting about it. Oh, we were there for a good long while. We ate, but the thing is, we ate quick as well.
Man, I'm a quick eater at the best. A regular thing, but if I was there, I'd probably destroy it in like minutes.
It was that unspoken agreement of let's just eat and go. Let's just leave now.
Just hold your nose, pour it in.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It sucks.
We even left.
McDonald's on the way home?
Dude, don't, because Claire made that exact joke. She was saying it wasn't McDonald's. We passed the takeaway, and she's like, should we just go there on the way home and get some like
actual
kebab?
Food?
Yeah. Dude, we left, and we were genuinely worried that we were going to get sick.
I'd be scared you weren't being followed. Flashes of pink in in the rear view mirror on the way home.
Oh, dude, don't. That guy, man.
I wouldn't like that feeling either, because if you start feeling like, maybe I'll get sick, then you might convince yourself you are sick.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Yeah,
that dude's
not good.
We're so on the same. That's why I started saying to Claire, I was like, I can't keep talking about the food, or else I'll start feeling like it's done me dirty.
Yeah.
But dude, this is something that we could. I mean, we've got stuff that we were going to talk about. But maybe this is worth talking about. It's because it's the problem with TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor, these reviews that Claire saw that were like, it's got 4.5 stars on TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
And I know there's fake reviews. Looking back at them, they've definitely got fake reviews.
Yeah.
But they changed hands 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
And all the bollocks reviews are since then. Before then, I reckon they've even kept the same website because it's talking about, local ingredients, real passion for the food.
Yeah.
Like the chef who trained in Spain, and regularly visits Spain. Such a love for Spanish tapas right here in Ludlow, How can that be allowed to happen on TripAdvisor?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Man, this is the problem. I think the problem translates to apps as well. Have you been on Google Play or the Apple Store or whatever and seen any apps that now have bad reviews? You basically can't.
Yeah,
they're all 3.5 or over, all of them.
Yeah,
it's because they pay they go on Fiverr and get some person to rate them 80 times at 5 stars.
Yeah.
Loads of different pre-programmed comments or something.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, man. That makes sense. I wonder, am I too cynical to think that, it's in Google's interest, say, or it's in Apple's interest to have people downloading as many apps as possible. So they would almost kind of just suppress the negative reviews a little bit. Maybe. Massage it a little bit.
Maybe. It wouldn't be considering all the shit that happens from privacy and stuff, that would probably be the least thing they would do, but who knows.
That's like we might as well, an aside kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. But man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, man. I think I'm spent. I think I'm spent on all my rage now about everything that happened. But the rest of the trip was good, thanks. Yeah,
good. I mean, the worst thing about a bad experience there as well is because there's the dynamic of two of you there, it's like, well, who's gonna say something, or like, should we say anything? And like, it just makes the whole thing a bit more not awkward, but like, we should
There's
say
another
something.
layer to
we should
it,
say something. Oh, I'm not going to say anything. We should.
Don't you say anything. Yeah, all right.
Say something then.
Say
And it's just oh, and then when you come over and say something, it's always overly polite. Oh, if it wasn't too much trouble.
Mind. If there's not too much trouble, you can take your balls off my plate, please.
Please.
But it's funny though, because I sent, like I said, we went to that wedding and we got an Uber in and out of London from sort of West London into Central London. And on the way home, I was joking with my brother. I sent him a text because they stayed at the wedding. We left a bit early because we weren't drinking. And I left the Uber driver a 5-star review. Yeah. Even though it smelt like he'd been eating pepperami and Monster, and burping it up. You know that kind of kind of college gross burpee. You know what I mean.
I'm teaching some of those kids. I know exactly.
Right?
What I mean.
Yeah. And so I sent a text to my brother saying, I think an Uber driver would literally have to shit in my mouth to get any less than 5 stars.
Yeah, man. This is the truth. Yeah, the same with every Uber I've taken in London. It's always been 4 stars. Sorry, 5 stars. Yeah, always. Yeah, even if they're like, I don't know, don't say a word. Yeah. Yes, very good.
Have you seen, I don't know when the last time you used Uber was, because I should, for context.
A long time ago now.
We should say that around where we live, there are no Uber drivers.
We only just got running water, so there's no Uber down here.
But yeah, they've added a feature that might be really old. You can select temperature control and you can select chat level when you book the ride.
Oh, what, for them to...
So you go, I want the car to be very cold, kind of cold, warm, medium,
I want to
whatever.
go into a blizzard, please.
But then it's got the chat level. It's like, are you up for a chat or not? Or silence.
I guess that's kind of good in a way, because if you just want to get somewhere and you've got shit to do, you're on the phone or whatever, I don't want to talk to you.
Dude, but it's like it's one step closer to a fully automated robotic ride, right?
Yeah.
Uber Robo,
Well, mate, honestly, a few decades' time it will be like that, won't it?
100%.
And it will just be an Uber branded car with like a weird... on Total Recall, where it's the
Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab.
Yeah,
just be like that.
Man, that'd be amazing.
It literally will. But no, I in a way, I guess it removes all the awkwardness from it.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Because if you don't want to talk, you probably aren't confident enough to say, "Please stop talking."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then if you don't want to talk, but you are confident enough to say it, it makes them feel like shit. Shut up, then.
None of this.
Drive. Stop talking.
Mate, there are other things that we wanted to talk to you about. Well, I saw you launched the Byte Review preset pack. Yeah, man. Can you tell me about that? Because I saw bits and pieces of it. How's it going?
Yeah, really good. To preface it, I launched a Byte Review preset pack, which is basically a Lightroom preset pack. If you're not sure what Lightroom is where you edit photos on whatever, PC, iPad, Mac, whatever.
It's like a very specific Photoshop. I know they do different jobs, but
it basically applies filters and corrections and stuff. It's if you've taken 300 photos or something and you want to apply the same edit to every single one, you'd do it in Lightroom. You wouldn't do it through Photoshop. But yeah, Lightroom's great. I use it all the time. And over the past year or so, I've been slowly, really slowly, I've got a big preset folder in it called Byte Review, and it's probably full of about 15 presets, which I kind of kept coming back to. Some were alterations of others I'd bought, because I'd been using a Mango Street preset pack for a really long time. Really great presets, but it took me a long time to appreciate them because I hated them initially, and then I realised, use them like this.
Sure, okay.
But I was always changing them loads. I was like, I don't like that about it, and put the blues back in, take those yellows back out, all this sort of thing. And I realised before I knew it, compare the one that I'd made from their preset to their original one, it was like night and day difference. I was like, you can't even recognise that as the same thing. It's just a good starting point. So throughout the whole, past 10 months probably, just been slowly but surely figuring them out and knowing which one to use them. I had BR thumbnail, BR brighten and pop, BR grain me up or something. I think it was cool. It's something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And all those
did you change those names to release them? Because that would have been amazing.
I did, really just general ones I've been using. And I've been using them on Instagram. A lot of not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I get a lot of comments on Instagram, love the way you edit photos, love this, love like that. And interaction on Instagram in general has gone up quite a lot. You usually get quite a lot of comments now, and which is cool. And then I've slowly been whittling away these presets to just using I think I was using about 6 of them all the time.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
sure.
even bother opening up the other preset packs I bought because I was just like, no, these are the ones I like and I use now. I always thought at one point, so I'm gotta sell them at one point. Gotta not sell them like I want to make money, but like, you know, people are asking about how I do it. It would make sense to put these into a little pack and then sell them.
And it's worth saying as well, like, because if people aren't into photo editing or anything, there is a very real market for this. Like, this isn't just a random idea that you've had. This is like a genuine. Are you spilling water on my floor? Oh man, that's it.
Get out.
50 episodes and done. There's definitely like this is a thing. Like, you know, for people who aren't familiar with it, this isn't just a you thing. This is there's a genuine market for it.
If you're a photographer, you'd have bought loads of preset packs, or you know about them, or you've got your own, or whatever. And so I whittled them down to 4, and I renamed them in the full-on Byte Review style. So we had bubble tea, matcha, lemonade.
Great.
And ramune, so like all the kind of Japanesey drinks. I wish I had named. I like the names, but I wish the presets kind of reflected each one. Like the lemonade one isn't yellow, and the matcha one isn't green. They were just names I thought were cool, or like kind of fitted what I've been doing.
Oh man,
so,
but in a way, maybe that's good because it means that people will actually have to look at what the preset's doing themselves. Instead of going, oh, this is Brighton and Pop. I'm just going to use that because I like the sound of what that does.
Like I say, some of the names are just so stupid. A lot of them are like BR12, BR1222, BR final 8.
Final version 8, real final, absolute,
So I packaged them all up as such, and you have to do lots of different things to make them work across Lightroom Classic, which is a desktop, and Lightroom Mobile, which is the mobile version of it.
Sure.
But and I sent to Rachel, who runs Koku with me. I was like, I think I've got a new digital project. So we've been selling the wallpapers, which have been doing really well. Like we're making some good money from that, and it was nice to sell something digital that meant we didn't have to do anything because you get a download link, which is great. It's good for the environment. We're not making anything and we're not shipping it out, and it's not spending all this energy and all that sort of stuff. So infinitely renewable, and it's also a way of supporting the channel. So it's a nice thing to do. So I made them to Rachel. I was like, look, I want to put them up on the site. What do you think? And all this sort of stuff. And she was like, yeah. So we talked about it for about 2 weeks, deciding the best way to do it and all sort of thing. And then I just said, right, next Friday they're going out. And this was like a couple of weeks ago now. And Lightroom is obviously not everyone does it. Not everyone edits photos. So I charge 15 quid for them because it's really niche. And like if I'm going to put all this effort in, because it was a lot of effort to make them and all that sort of stuff. To make them and sell them, it's got to be worth it on my end, because the amount of hundreds of hours I've put into them over the past 10 months or whatever. I put them up, and I took some proper like product photos for it. The Byte Review preset pack, which you probably saw, was the like little Polaroid things that all had a picture on them. So took some nice photos to show them off and all that sort of stuff, and applied them across a few things. And they've done really well. And I couldn't be more happy about it, because I said to Rachel, I was like, look, don't be surprised if we don't sell like 5, because it's so niche. I don't know anyone that's going to look for like that, specifically from me, that makes videos rather than takes photos. So it's like, set your expectation low. We're going to charge 15 quid because I don't think many people will buy them. It's a niche thing, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, man, they've done, we've pulled a really decent, not to say here and sing all with the success, but we've pulled pretty much the same of what we earned out of the wallpapers out of them already.
Wow, okay.
And so the response was nice, and the feedback I got was so nice. Because I'm really heavy on the grain of a lot of what I do, and like in terms of the tech stuff, I always make it really colourful, really bright, because a lot of tech stuff's very sterile and clean, and like white edges and clean lines, and I always didn't like that. I was like, right, I like it colourful, I like it grainy. I like the idea that you're reaching into a VHS tape, and that's how you put on a Byte Review video. You put in the VHS tape and it and that's like my style as such. And I thought, not many people probably want that in the photos, but apparently they did. And every time people said something, not everyone said something, but 80% of people have, or messaged me on Instagram. All been so nice. I couldn't be more like humbled by it.
Yeah, sure, man.
Really cool. And it was like a nice confirmation for me, like, no, that was worth your time.
And,
absolutely. People like it. People like what you're making. So it was a nice thing to do. And like, it was a great thing to do monetary, but also a nice little stroke of the ego, if you will.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Yeah.
Not that I like to think that I've got a massive ego, because I don't think I do. But like,
oh man, I don't know, man. You're pretty. You
barely fit your fucking head in, mate.
Egotistical, yeah.
But it was nice. Yeah, it's nice for people to vote with their wallets that they like what I do.
Yeah, sure.
And it was really
successful. And that's the same with the wallpapers, I guess. It's pack number 1. You know, if you're saying you've got 15 odd.
Spit it again. So I'm spilling water.
Stop spilling water on my floor.
There's a hole in the cup. Sorry,
There's got to be. No, mate, you're fine. It's fine. I'll take it outside and shoot
stain.
You later. Yeah.
You'll work here until you pay it off.
I've got a guy in a coral polo shirt working in the basement. God. You can join in.
But yeah, man, like I say, the response has been great. Some really big Instagram accounts picked them up as well. Someone bought them. He's got like 151k.
Wow. Okay.
People and like posted them, and I got a lot more people come in from there.
Yeah,
and, like,
sure.
So some really nice, organic and natural, growth. I didn't push them. I didn't like say go and buy my presets, go and buy them right now, and that sort of thing. I include them in a video which I was already making at that point, which was like how I edit photos. I was like, this would be great to actually show off the pack, and they just married up, luckily, because I had a sponsor that fell out of that video.
Oh, okay,
so my own one fell in.
Absolutely.
Which, and it worked out perfectly. So, yeah, it's been a really good, nice little push that has.
Mate, that sounds fantastic, dude. That sounds really good. I need some Byte Review advice, actually, because I picked up... I switched phones recently.
Yeah.
I switched phones to a Pixel 5.
Uh-oh.
And mate, it's fine. It's fine. But just from a design point of view, I've got 2 gripes that I want to mention to you.
No, go for it.
And it's to do with how you use it. So again, if this isn't going to be applicable to many people, really,
sure.
But I'll get to my point here. The back gesture. On the back.
Swipe.
The go back. The swipe from the edge. Yeah. The swipe from the edge, which is very similar to the, say, swipe sideways to forward a message or delete an email or change Instagram, to switch across to post on Instagram. That seems like a weird choice, and I'm forever like coming out of WhatsApp by trying to forward a message. I nearly did to you earlier. Yeah, just trying to go back and instead go and forward that message, and I'm just like, right, delete that. Yeah, so maybe I'll get better at using.
Yeah, man, I was going to say that's a pretty universal control now, because I'm not being that guy, but iPhone did it a while back, and Android picked it up, and it's a pretty common thing now. So
Jesus,
you better get used to it.
Oh fuck! Okay, well, that's me. That's me done forever.
I'm sure you could put on Nova Launcher and just put the back button.
Have a back button. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know whether I will just get more used to it. But I've had it a while now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the one that really fucks me off. I've already gone deep with the swearing in my rant about the restaurant.
Let's just have it. The 50th explicit special.
I'll go through actually beef more as a special.
Yeah.
What really bugs me with this is opening the app tray.
Right. The swipe up.
The swipe up, because as you not to teach you to suck eggs, but for anyone, it's not a swipe from the bottom. No, it's a swipe from a bit above the bottom. Yeah. Right.
Above the bottom apps. Yeah.
But if you kind of go in between the two, so you're not getting the open apps up,
no,
and if you're not getting your app tray up, and you just sat there trying to do it, if you try and do it 3 times, it demonstrates. It goes.
Are you stupid?
It goes. Here's a blue circle, and then it even taunts you, because it isn't like a blank or a stock image of it pulling up the app tray. It's your apps. It's like, here's your apps, and it shows them being pulled up slightly, as if to say, touch here and drag up, you muppet.
This is going to make you feel even worse.
Go on.
I've never once seen that.
Right,
in
that's fine. That's fine. Fine, whatever. But my problem with it is, if you're showing me that because you think I'm trying to open the app tray, why aren't you opening the app tray?
Yeah. You just do it.
Stop being a smart ass, right? And just do what you think I'm trying to do. That's a weird design feature, but genuine. And this is my point. I love joke about Pixel and whatever. It's a good phone, whatever. Phones are phones, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
No offense meant. but it's you can't. It's not the sort of thing you can build a successful YouTube channel off. So it's fine. It's fine. But what, from a design point of view, isn't that weird to go, oh, we think you're trying to do this, but we're not going to do it. We're just going to tell you should be doing something different.
If it doesn't do anything else either, it might as well do that.
Exactly.
That's the big one.
Yeah. If I was opening like the wrong thing and then coming back out and opening the app tray, then eventually it could pick up and go, oh, you realise, you're supposed to do it like this.
Maybe after 20 days. By the way, you'll have more success.
You seem to do this a lot. You should really be. But it just seems such a weird thing to put. They put in a special little animation, a special little thing. Anyway. Sorry, man.
I was going to say, I don't really have a solution other than
come on, man. I've come to you for...
swipe up over the bottom row of apps. Over the...
Just do it right. Just do it properly.
Have you used a phone Pixel?
Man, the last time I had a phone, it was one of those T9 keypads. I don't know where those have gone.
Oh, man. But overall, you're both on Pixels now? New Pixels, is that right?
We are, yeah. Well, we were on last cycle, if you like, as well. Yeah.
So you're on 3 and 3A?
We were on 3 and 3A. Now we're on 5 and 5A.
Do you get the 5A?
No, 4A. I don't think there is a 5A.
They've just literally put out the 5A.
Yeah, we're on 5 and 4A, I think, yeah.
They're both... funnily enough, I no longer look at phones at all. But the last phones I did look at was the 5 and the 5A. Those are the last ever phones to be reviewed on Byte Review.
It's the last fucking phones I'm ever going to buy, mate. So that's a coincidence.
But enjoying them otherwise?
Very much so, mate. Yes, I am. I'm enjoying... I'll give you Ben review. Right?
No, go for it.
Can you give me a beat? It's got to have the full vibe, man. I thought you did that a cappella for every video.
Yeah.
No, Ben review. I reckon, they're decent. They're quick enough. The screen looks good. Seems odd to have put both the speakers on the bottom of the handset. I know it would have meant a notch, but I think I preferred the two front-facing speakers because I'm less likely to cover them with my finger, or if I'm holding my phone to just watch something for a while, I'm less likely to cover them. I like the camera.
Camera's always great on Pixels,
I particularly like the zoom out, like the fisheye 0.6 zoom.
Man, that's been one of my favourite things on phones recently.
Surprisingly handy, yeah.
Ultra wide.
Awesome. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought so. But
I prefer it over a zoom. I think it's cooler.
Yeah.
It's more fun because phone cameras don't need to be good, quote unquote. They need to be a laugh.
Exactly.
And an ultra wide is more fun.
And you know what, man? It's almost like an ultra wide it feels more like your own natural vision. So I mean, I'm sure you've been there as well. Maybe it's just me being, again, I've already proved myself to be a complete idiot through the course of this episode, but maybe it's just me. You look at a scene and go, oh, I'll take a photo of that, and then you have that little moment where you go, oh no, wait, I'm only taking a photo of that bit of it. So having the ultra wide is good. It's cool for that, just for a more natural photo.
Yeah, man, I like ultra wides. I think they're awesome.
I don't think I've ever zoomed in to take a photo.
No, phones, even like phones with like multiple cameras, like my 12 Pro's got a zoom on it, and it's like, it's great, but the zoom camera and the ultra wide are always worse than the main camera. Even though the ultra wide might be like a low megapixel and the edges will blur out or something, but using a bright day you wouldn't notice. Using side now, like you'd notice straight away. Same with zoom ins generally. Yeah, but no, it's cool. I'm glad you like it. I don't know why, because I don't work for Google.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Talking of that, when the Pixel 4a came out, Google sent me a Twitter DM and gave me a 4A, which was really cool.
Really?
So
okay.
I didn't pay for that one, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But nothing on the 5A, which only just came. And that's...
Did you not review it hard enough? Did you not?
Yeah. No, do you know what? That's actually fine. Like I said, I don't look at phones at all anymore, so even if they did give it to me, I'd be like, I can do an Instagram post and that'll be it.
Really? Yeah. Wow, man, that's a power move to Google. That's a power move.
Yeah. Imagine low life Google. Like me saying that to a big company.
I mean, dude, you've got bigger balls than I have, because you all your tech is going to stop working soon if you keep doing that. Yeah. They're like, oh, shut him down. No more Google searches for you. Restaurants in your area, was it?
Yeah.
Sorry, there's none.
I've actually moved to Safari on my Mac over Chrome.
Is that right?
Interestingly, yeah. I think I talked about it on the podcast before, so I won't bring it back up.
Oh, of course, no, you did. Yeah. Yes, I do remember. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
I do not having more and more problems with that.
Okay.
More and more. I'm, almost tempted to switch right back, because we use a lot of Google Hangouts for work stuff, and me just with clients in general, Google Hangouts for like over Zoom, because it's easier. It's easier. Sorry. had a bit of a stroke then. It's easier to just go, I'll call you on Hangouts, but Safari for me recently is so hit and miss with a video call on Hangouts.
Really?
I think it's to do with the privacy settings. Every time you have to hit allow, and I always hit allow.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder if it's blocked it while it's loading, then you click allow, but it's too late because it's already blocked it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is
It's funny, man. It's because I had exactly that experience with a buddy of mine, a Spanish buddy of mine. We were having a video chat recently, and Skype, I don't know if anyone uses Skype anymore, but it is getting worse and worse. And then we tried to kind of get onto Google Meet now. You've got your hand under your glass.
Never again.
I'll give you some water wings next. And we moved on to Meet, and then he couldn't get the video to work, and it was permissions again, and it wouldn't allow me. So then we went, just do Zoom. I will open up a Zoom. Can you do a Zoom? Yeah, fine. Here's the details, and no word of a lie, it was so superior. Yeah. Just in terms of video quality, in terms of audio quality, the background cancelling. I don't work for Zoom, like we say, but
I don't know how Microsoft and Skype missed the boat on that.
Yeah.
Like, how did they, a huge company like that, how did they let Zoom win that one?
Yeah.
Skype should have been like, oh, right.
Time to shine.
Time to really be awesome. And
yeah.
It's just been whatevered.
And just no.
Yeah. And mate, you say a Zoom now. When you say, I'll Zoom you, that makes sense. You don't say, Skype, well,
you might, but not so much anymore, man.
No,
not
kids
so
know
much
Zoom.
anymore.
Everyone knows Zoom. Like, my mum knows what Zoom is. Like,
well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, is Skype just going to die a death now? Do you think? Because video call is better on Zoom. Yeah, I think. Calling people, because Skype are kind of in that market, aren't they, of just being voice calls?
Yeah, almost. It feels like more European Skype. Do you know what I mean? Like, you seem to get a lot more like, cross-country thing with it.
Yeah. Oh man, who knows? Who knows? We'll come back to this in 50 more episodes and we're like, remember Skype?
Skype is painfully average.
Yeah.
Just like...
Oh man, dude. Yeah, I know you want to talk about this, but I always feel like it's a bit of an insult to this film already.
Yeah, not to talk about it for very long.
This is one of the rare occasions, special 50th edition treat.
Yeah, super treat.
Where we have both watched the same film. We went to watch The Suicide Squad. Yeah. But not together.
No.
But randomly enough.
Where did you watch it? At cinema?
At the cinema, yeah.
Oh, cool. I watched it from home.
Did you?
Yes.
You know what? I went to the cinema because I didn't know it was available at home. That's... Fine, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of not available.
Oh, I see. Oh man, look,
it was obtained.
I'm just being knocked from pillar to post here, mate. I'm just looking like a goon at every turn. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
mate, I wouldn't have seen it otherwise because I couldn't convince Callie to go.
Oh, fine, fair. You know what? I barely convinced Claire to go. Yeah, just barely.
And do you know what? In a way, I'm glad I didn't convince her to go because she really didn't like it. Okay, and I thought it was so painfully average. But man, we didn't have to spend loads of time on it. But
no, that's okay, man.
What did you think of it?
Well, I thought it was all right. I would say pretty good.
You can like it?
Yeah, no, I think it was pretty good. Sure. I should say as well that there is, if we're going to talk about this at all, it's going to be spoilers from the word go. It's so difficult, especially what happens at the very start. Yeah, it's in that whole scene. It's difficult not to spoil pretty major plot stuff. So I'm padding here a little bit.
I mean, even if we do spoil it, I don't think you'd be like, oh, what? Yeah, it's pretty hearts on its sleeve with the trailers. Like, a lot of people die. That's fair enough.
I suppose it's only stuff that you would expect to happen, I guess. But if you want to know specifics about this film, then maybe just hit pause until you've watched it. Yeah. But no, I thought it was all right. Because what I've realised is whenever I'm thinking back to it, I'm thinking back to like the artistic direction in certain scenes, or tiny little moments where I'm thinking, oh, that was really funny, or that image, that imagery, that direction was really good.
Mate, I wholeheartedly agree with you there. Some scenes were absolutely fantastic. Really funny quiet moments, funny big moments. All the moments in between.
But in terms of plot, I mean, what can I say? I think it's well paced. I don't think the plot is anything that anyone would write home about and say, "Oh, there's loads of twists and turns." And I mean, even the kind of twists, you kind of go, "Oh, right, yeah, that's fine."
Yeah.
But no, I think it was much more of a spectacle film, rather than it was certainly not a cerebral film. You know,
felt like a punk rock romp.
Yeah, I could go along with that.
I've stolen that from someone online, but they're like, it feels like going to a punk rock show. It's great and like really fun. There's not much to it other than you have a good ride while you're there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think it's definitely got James Gunn's like style all over it. You know,
it's nice that they just let him. It looks like they just let him kind of run with it.
Yeah,
do what you want. We couldn't make it work last time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I will say is much better than the first one.
I'd take that, mate. Yeah.
Is it a reboot or is it a second part? It's very hard to tell.
I think it's like a soft reboot, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's likely. I mean, especially the relationship between some of the characters, like between Harley Quinn and Rick Flag.
Yeah.
The fact they know each other, and Captain Boomerang as well. The fact that they're like, "Oh, it's you again. Hi, how's it going?"
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be
it's a bit tongue in cheek, like here we are again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's supposed to be that it could just be a continuation.
Sure.
But there's such a lot about it that's slightly different. I think
you could ignore the first film.
Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. Yeah. I mean, but I even heard, what did I hear, that because Idris Elba's in this one, playing basically the
main character.
The same. Well, but the same character as Will Smith in the last. Not technically the same character. It's basically the same character.
Bloodshot or Deadshot.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, Deadshot.
Yeah.
Basically the same, aren't they?
Yeah. But I kind of like that they hang a lampshade on that with Peacemaker as well, when they go, these aren't unique skills. He just does what I do. We're exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I've heard that the reason they didn't recast Deadshot, which is Will Smith's character, is in case he wanted to come back in the future.
Sure.
As that character in whatever.
Because he was good as that character. I never thought like, oh no.
He was doing his best in a bad movie, that's for sure.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But yeah, so walk me through what did you think was not so good? Like, what didn't you like about it?
For me, I don't know. For me, it seems clear that Harley Quinn makes them the money, has the draw. So when she turns up, because she turns up, I don't know, like 20 minutes in, just jumps on the helicopter and she's here.
Yeah, sure.
No explanation as to why. Not that I need that. I don't need to know why she's here, or anything. But like, it's clear she's. Oh, and by the way, Harley Quinn's in this film.
Yeah, don't forget
that. And remember, she's on all the posters, and that's why you come.
Yeah, sure.
It feels like she carries the film, and she's perfect for that character. Who could you pick better? She is perfect for it. But yeah, mate, and her Harley Quinn's like weird side story in it where she kind of gets married. It felt like such a big excuse to throw it in a nice dress, and like. I give
her something to do a little bit.
I didn't get it. Yeah. I was like, what is... It was fun, and it was funny, and it was like, again, like a punk rock show. It's like a punk rock band doing a country song. It's funny, and we enjoy it for that moment, but it doesn't make any sense in the long run. And like, then, her... And she just like kills him, and it's kind of okay. And he's the antagonist. He's a president of wherever they are. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like
the confusion that you're saying.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
It was all over the place. I thought the shark guy was completely underused. He's in it a lot, but not in it a lot. He doesn't do like much of anything. Like he does some gross kills and is kind of funny, but
he's not a major player.
No, at one point they just leave him on the bus, and he's just on the bus.
Yeah,
he's literally left on the bus. He's not doing anything. They're all inside this place having like a drink and stuff, which is probably the best part of the whole thing. Yeah, in a way, because it's nice to see them all like hang out and like have a drink, and like you always think as a person it'd be funny to hang out with superheroes or villains for a day and see what their day's like. But they just leave him, and he's just like, see you in a bit.
I think there were definitely characters in it or scenes in it where I actively was thinking, what are you here for? Yeah. Like with the Harley Quinn storyline I have a theory about that, because basically, so in the film she's the president of the country is like, I want you to be my wife.
Yeah.
He starts talking about how he's going to terrorize and torture all the new residents, but he's obviously better than the last dictator that they overthrow.
Sure, yeah.
So she decides, you're no good, and kills him.
Yeah.
Just as a side point, to put a pin in that for a second, the general who takes over, what is he there for? If I'm going to be critical, I like the bird burning scene. I'm like, okay, you're supposed to be this terrible man, but then you don't really do a lot else.
He just fills the hole, doesn't he?
He just gets killed. But with Harley Quinn, I wonder whether that's like, if the idea of that is almost is deliberate character development for her character. Maybe, for a future thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like a kind of, because she gives it, dude, the monologue she gives, that's, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When she's saying about how, you know, the red flags show up and then, you know, the people won't let you leave. When you do want to leave, they won't let you leave. I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of, this is a serious moment. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's literally in there just to develop, because, you know, she's been in, 3 films?
Yeah,
It feels like more, but maybe it's to develop her character a bit more, to make you see who she's supposed to be now, I guess, with an eye on a future film. And,
like, I do wonder with Harley Quinn, like, I feel like Margot Robbie with her is such a success that they want to explore her loads, which is fine, but I don't read the comics. I don't know how much depth Harley Quinn has, you know. But it makes me wonder: are they just pulling it, stretching it long and thin until they can't get any more out of it?
Yeah.
And I can't help but feel like they're going to turn her into a hero. They're trying to push her in that direction. And like from I played all the Batman Arkham games and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she's a villain. She's the Joker's girlfriend. I like the idea that she's not with Joker anymore. That's great. You know, that's good character development.
Yeah.
Like, where'd you go from there if you've been that bad all that time? But I don't know. I don't know. It felt like she was in there because, okay, we need to make sure someone does something. Yeah. So can we put Harley Quinn in because everyone likes her?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's because a lot of I do get the same with, okay, I'm fumbling for what to say now, but same with Peter Capaldi. The thinker, the guy with the light bulb head. What did he do?
Nothing.
I said to Claire, that could have been me. Literally me, Ben. I could have been in there.
It could have been Goon Boss 1.
Yeah. Going, oh yeah, I'm the scientist in charge of the program. Because he never does anything. Because he's a character, you know. He's a character from the comics, you know. The thinker is like he's got
big villain or whatever.
And just it could have been a guy in a lab coat.
Yeah, mate. I think a similar complaint I had with the first film is why are they sending the Suicide Squad to deal with, let's face it, a world-ending problem? In the first one, it was that the person that's making all the waves happen, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You'd think in the DC universe, wherever it's set, like that's a superhero level problem.
I think I have an answer to that.
Yeah,
a storyline answer. I think it's because it was supposed to be covert.
Sure,
their involvement in it, the US involvement. I think maybe that's justified, but it makes sense. Yeah. You know, like the idea that Superman could just fly in and deal with Starro in 2 seconds flat.
Sure,
you know, it makes sense. Yeah,
but even so, like. I guess it all goes into the whole Suicide Squad thing is like, yeah, you'll probably not win.
Yeah.
But it seems like such a big risk to take. I don't know.
Sure.
But man, even, like I said, there's some moments I really like when Bloodsport and like, who was John Cena again?
Oh, Peacemaker.
Yeah. Peacemaker's like, touching his like, oh, what does this do? He's like, get off me, man! Like little bits like that were so great, and like those little moments were great. I think there's a scene on the bus where the camera keeps panning, like whipping one way, whipping the other.
Yeah, sure.
And bits like that were great. I was like, this feels like a really fun, cool little team.
Because those bits feel like how the Suicide Squad should be.
Yeah,
like they're all fucking idiots at the end of the day. Like they're all begrudging being there. None of them want to be there. Mm-hmm. They're not smart. You know, they're not. You know, they've got skills, but they're not tacticians. You know, they're not amazing at it. I feel like that hit the right vibe for me. It was definitely like a popcorn movie. That's probably what I'd say. Yeah,
full on popcorn movie. I don't know, man. Something about it which I just thought it was so. Even the action scenes, which for all there's no chance in hell I'd be able to pull off anything close to what they do, and it looks incredible. But even. None of the fights really impressed. I wasn't like whoa, like anything like that, and like. I don't know, some things like I guess they go into the madness of some characters, but when Harley Quinn was shooting with people and like all the stuff like flowers and stuff was coming out of them, are we seeing what she's seeing, or is this happening?
Or is this an artistic choice?
Is it an artistic choice? Maybe that's part of the film to make you question what's really happening and what not. Because Harley Quinn and Joker are always like unreliable narrators. You can't really believe what they're saying. But like even when I think Bloodsport was going in to save her, she's like, "Oh, run back in, and you can still do it." Like I laughed at those little moments; those are great. But mate, we haven't even talked about Polka Dot Man because he's so forgettable. so forgettable.
Yeah, see,
It felt like he's completely underutilized.
Again, like he's in it too little.
Funny.
He's in it for too little for how good that character could be.
Yeah,
and
it's a weird power.
Yeah, because again, what I really loved about that is that Polka Dot Man is in stuff. He's this ridiculous villain that was in like the old Golden Age comics. He was around, but he just threw polka dots. It was super weird, super odd. And he's made it into something that's not, I don't want to say realistic, but I like that depiction of the character. It's like, oh, you've taken a completely forgettable B-grade villain and made him into something that's kind of interesting with a gross kind of, the pustules and stuff. Yeah. I like that, man. That's kind of cool. And I think I do. In terms of artistic direction, I liked like the creature design. King Shark looks good for how it is used. Great, he looks good. I like his kind of Hawaiian style boardies that he's wearing. It's just good. Starro looks just gross enough to look like they've put some thought into how it would move and how it would actually be. And I get that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say really. I think it was, in terms of overall storytelling, it was fine for me. I enjoyed the art of it.
Some of the visuals are incredible. We're all walking in front of the American flag. When they get out the bus, it's all light and you can't really see what they're going into. A lot of it felt like an excuse for let's see how much shit we can blow up and make it look fucking great. And they do that really well. Like, it does look fucking great. I think there's one point where Bloodsport's falling through all the towers. All the levels of the towers. Oh, we're still good.
We're still recording. Don't worry, I'm just checking we're still recording.
And it just looks incredible. I was like, my butt was on the side of the seat when he was falling through those things. Like, oh my god. But then, keeping John Cena alive at the end as well. Like,
he's getting a series.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah.
He was great, by the way.
He was very funny. I like John Cena. Yeah. I think he's genuinely good at doing that kind of role where he's just being a bit silly.
Yeah, definitely. He was great. When they're having that, him and Bloodsport almost having the competition of who can kill the funniest, but the most like technically perfect and stuff like those little moments were good.
When he walks up that dude with the axe, that's a standout because it's the kind of just
so
idle going to work kind of thing.
Yeah, so casual. But mate, even the intro kind of fucked me off.
I see,
because like they bring out all these. Me and Callie really did laugh when he said, "Is that a dog?" To like the thing. We really howled. I think
Captain Boomerang's response.
Yeah,
when he's like, "What kind of breed do you fucking think that is?"
Yeah, it's so good.
What kind of dog you seen like that?
It's perfect. If that little bit was perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Like a lot of villains are really stupid. That's kind of their undoing. Like, you can tell that guy who ever says that, I don't even remember his name. Is like dumb. Like,
sure, yeah,
that was great. But like the first scene is that. The amount of people in Marvel that was in this, by the way. The first guy is Yondu from Guardians.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
And he's throwing the ball around and like he kills a bird with it, like really highly skilled.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, 10 minutes later he's dead.
I feel like
are we led on to think that? And then loads of them die. Like, well, and that's fine. That's part of the film. Like,
it's more like a false start, isn't it? It's more like a kind of
big false start.
You think this is the team that's going to go, but then looking back, like they are the ridiculous ones. More so. Like what was it? Nathan Fillion's character, the detachable kid, and all it is his arms just come off. They don't fly around. They walk like as fast as he walked. Like just it's him, and then he just flopping against people, slapping against their heads.
Yeah, like I say, some bits were great. But yeah, overall, I thought it was so average.
Oh, fair enough. So I can see why. It makes sense. It makes sense.
It was better than the first one. It was fun. If someone said, "Do you want to watch it again?" I'd say no.
If someone said, "Do you want to put it on while we eat in the background?" Maybe.
It's quite long, so maybe not.
Skip ahead
man. Like I think Callie was on her phone like an hour in.
Really,
you can tell when something's not great when that's happening.
That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Mate, we do have a couple of other things to talk about, but we could save those for the next episode if you feel like you want to.
Yeah,
for episode 51.
Long enough.
Let's do that in that case.
Yeah.
I can't believe how long we've talked about both Suicide Squad and poor restaurants. Mm-hmm. But you know what, mate? the 50th episode. We can do what we like. It's our podcast.
Yeah.
We'll do what we want.
Talk about shit.
Yeah.
The shit podcast.
I should say, though, if people have listened this far, then as always, if you want to leave us a review, that'd be great. Good reviews as well would be
50
would be
review.
great. Club 50, 5 stars, and just the words Club 50.
Did we say Club 50?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. It is now. It is now. 5 stars, Club 50, and then we'll know that you were here for this momentous episode of what is an exceptional podcast. Tom, if people want to find you online, where do they need to go?
It's at Byte Review everywhere, but where can they find Ben?
If you go to benjiwanlung.com, it's all there. It's all from there. I'll put links in the description as well for the preset packs and maybe the wallpapers as well.
Yeah, good
just to give that a bit of a shuffle.
Give it a bit of a poke
to the listeners. Yeah,
bit of a stoke on the old fire there.
And in the meantime, hit a like if you're watching this on something that lets you like. Leave a review, leave a comment if you can. You know what? Do what you like. Just live your life. Do what you like.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone. We just want to make a podcast. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
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 Done. Woo!
Very good.
Fly in and stop.